making soldier bangers live in action. If you adapt and relax, then the fuck you said, I'll be right back with Max then.
Man, welcome back to another video. I'm not sure if this video is going out first, but if it is, I want to say thank y'all so much for 50 subscribers. That means a lot to me. I don't care that it's only 50. I really do appreciate every single one of y'all that has decided to take this journey with me, because when I made this channel, I made this to make throwaway little edits of, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Hendon Hooker, Will Levis, low lights, just because I had no, expectation of this shit blowing up. Then all of a sudden, Anthony Richardson low lights gets like 34,000 views, and I get a small little audience from that, and that audience is growing now that the draft has rolled around. So I want to again thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate every single one of y'all that's taking the time, and let's get right into it, man. This is going to be talking about the biggest winners. Shit, my bad. I don't even think I shared screen first. Did I? Okay, no. This is going to be talking about the biggest winners of the first round, because there were a couple. First and foremost, the Texans made possible. I'm so excited talking about this. We're like 45 minutes removed from the first round ending. The Texans made one of the best moves I've ever seen in my life, y'all. They pulled, let me get my facts straight. I believe it was number 12, 33, I believe, or 34, or maybe it's 33. 12, 33, and a first next year, and some other later round picks to trade up with the Cardinals for Will Anderson. First of all, y'all know how I feel. I think I've said it before on this channel that I think Will Anderson is the best prospect since Joe Burrow. CJ Stroud could be the best quarterback from this class. It's 50-50 in my opinion. I am indifferent on who's better between him or Bryce Young. So to summarize, the Texans might have got the best quarterback and the best player from the draft. You get what I'm saying here? I'll give out some grades here. This has got to be an A+. I've never seen no shit like this. A team picking back to back in the top 3, and they kid. Oh my god! Texans fans have to. And keep in mind, there was a scare for a second about the story earlier today about them passing on CJ Stroud for Levis. Fuck that. We know that was complete bullshit. Levis's agent probably pumped that shit. Oh man. CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. What a draft by the Tech. I'm gonna clap it up. I'm not biased here. I'm not a Texans fan. I don't hate the Texans or nothing. Just complete. I love the NFL. That was an amazing move that we may be talking about 10 years from now. Next, I'll just start with the teams with multiple picks, because next up, it has to be the Eagles, bro. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Fucking Philadelphia Bulldogs. Every time they take a Georgia player, I start shaking, because I live in Georgia, bro. I like the Bulldogs, and bro, man, what can I say? You get, we know Howie Roseman loves to build in the trenches. I've said that on the channel before. And what did he do? Look how many. Look that this pick changed hand 3. You know what it cost them to move up from 10 to 9, the 120th pick, to solidify them getting Jalen Carter. What a move, bro. Jalen Carter falls to 9. I'll say this again. On some people's boards, this is the top player. And you get him at 9 and number 30. Who? Nolan Smith. How do you lose Javon Hargrave on that legendary pass rush, and it possibly gets better after the draft? Guys, they could get 60 sacks next year. I don't know if they already got 60 last year. They probably did. They could get 60 again. Again. This is crazy, bro. Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. Neither of them should have been available at 9 and 30. It's not fair, bro. Next up, only other team that had multiple firsts were the Seahawks and the Lions. Obviously, the Lions did not win. I'll keep it a buck. I have no bias against the Lions. This is one of the worst drafts I've ever seen. For a team to have multiple picks in the top 20 and fuck it up this badly, yikes. We'll get to that in the losers of the draft video. But I'll talk about my Seahawks here, because you have to understand, as a biased Seahawks fan here, it's hard for me to rank this. Let's start off like this. The Njigba pick was completely unexpected for me. Me and my friend were watching the draft, and the way I saw it was I thought we were going to take Nolan Smith or Osiris Torrance. That's who I thought we were taking, guaranteed. So when we saw Njigba, we lost it, bro. I was shocked, but I love it. I do love it because I see the potential with Njigba. He was my wide receiver two. I still think Quentin Johnston is wide receiver one, but I think Njigba in our system is a better fit. I like the pick at 20. Witherspoon here, look, I'm not gonna lie now, just because he's a Seahawk, I am gonna stand on my opinion that he's the fourth best corner in this draft. I had Ringo one, I think I had Ringo one, Porter two, and Gonzalez three. I still have Witherspoon as my fourth best corner, and I stand on that. However, you have to understand my knock on him and what I said to look out for was I didn't think he was going to come into a team and be a number one corner. That's not what he has being asked to do in Seattle. We might play him at nickel because we re-signed Michael Jackson and obviously we got Tariq Woolen. If we ask Devon Witherspoon to be in the nickel or guard a team's second or third best receiver on the outside, I feel pretty confident that he can do that. What's surprising to me is that we have a string here of drafting these bigger corners, and Witherspoon's like 5'11", 180. So it's a complete, you know, um, change from what we usually do, but that just means Pete Carroll and John Schneider have the utmost confidence in Witherspoon. And hey, from what I've heard, he's a guy who is physical and he brings it every play. And that's what we need to change the culture of our defense, and I'm here for it. So I got no problem. By the way, I give the Texans an A plus. I'm gonna also give the Eagles an A plus. I'm gonna give the Seahawks an A minus. Obviously, having multiple picks here helps. I don't love the Witherspoon pick. I'd give it like a B minus or even a C plus, but I do really like the Jackson Smith and Jigba pick. And when you combine those together, I'd give our first round overall an A minus. If I sleep on it for a day, I might end up changing that, but I think it's fair to call the Seahawks one of the winners of the first round for sure. Next up, this is a little different. I'll call Bijan Robinson specifically a winner of the first round because I don't think anybody, even though it's so weird, there was a lot of talk from fans recently, Falcons fans, about Bijan at 8, and I don't even know where that came from. It's like the fans were just talking about it lately, and it just actually happened. It's such an awful pick. Let's not get confused about this. This was a horrible pick from the Falcons. If I had to pick one position on the Falcons that they were good, they didn't need to draft, it was running back. They drafted running back. Falcons fans, real quick, moment of silence. Please God help the Falcons fan in this troubling time. I know every year around draft time it gets rough in Atlanta. This is no different. A moment of silence for them. But Bijan Robinson, there was nobody. I don't think Bijan expected to go top 10. I had him going around 20 this entire time, 19 to 21. And number 8, that is a big change in the amount of money Bijan is going to get paid. Shout out to him. That's an extra couple million in his pocket. And also, playing next to Algier, the wear and tear on his body in his first couple years in the NFL is not going to be that major. So if we're just talking about Bijan here, this is a win. This is a win for Bijan for sure. Next up, we'll go individual player again. Darnell Wright. The highest I have seen him shoot up lately, but the highest I've seen him was 14 to the Patriots. I think recently I had him mocked at 17 to the Steelers, but 10 is. And this comes down to the Cardinals took Paris Johnson. I think the Bears wanted Paris Johnson. And once he went to the Cardinals, they just didn't like Skoronski, man. I personally like Broderick Jones over Darnell Wright, but I think they think Darnell Wright is the safest bet at just a future left tackle. And I can't really fault them on that, but for Darnell Wright specifically, hey man, a couple months ago you were a second round guy, then you start getting talked about in the 20s and you end up at 10. That's a big rise, man. That's a massive jump for Darnell Wright, and it's got to be a shout out to the Bears. Next up, we're going to talk about the Titans here. Sitting firm at your spot and getting your guy. I talked about it. Who needs a left tackle more than the Titans? Nobody. and you get, in my opinion, if you watch my draft board video, I think Peter Skoronski's a top 5 player in this class, man. Do not be fooled about his arm length because you know who else has short arms in the NFL? Rashawn Slater. You know how good he is? I'd say pretty good. So all these people talking about his arm length is going to prevent him from being attacked, or he's a guard. Let's see how good. Let's see how much time he plays at guard for the Titans. No, he's going to be tackle, and let's see how well he plays at tackle. For my money, he'll be pretty good. Next up here, individual. Let's talk about Emmanuel Forbes, man. Horrible pick from the Commanders. I think this is back-to-back years. They've been picking at like between 15 and 17, and they draft a guy they could have got in the second round. Emmanuel Forbes is my CB7. Let's get that out the way. But if you're Emmanuel Forbes, from going somewhere in the late 30s to maybe even the 40s to the 16th pick, that's a lot of extra millions of dollars in Emmanuel Forbes' pocket. And I can't hate. I got to shout out to Emmanuel Forbes. He did not expect to be drafted above Christian Gonzalez when he woke up this morning. I could say the same thing about Jack Campbell, but I'd basically be saying the same thing about Emmanuel Forbes. Jack Campbell also shot up the draft board lately, and shout out to him. We got to say the Ravens here because in the same day that they re-signed Lamar Jackson, I'm not going to make a whole video talking about that, but a massive move. We'll summarize it right now because we're calling the Ravens as a team winners today. They re-signed their quarterback for a great contract, I think, for both sides, and they got another weapon. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham, Mark Andrews, Nelson Aguilar, Devin Duvernay. No excuses. No excuses for the Ravens, man. I'm not trying to hear it. Lamar has the best weapons he's ever had. Ever. He got his money. He got his weapons. Show up, Lamar. Ravens, no excuses. Y'all gotta win now. Y'all gotta win now, man. You got your weapon of your choice. You could have picked between Zay Flowers or Addison. You wanted Zay Flowers. You got him, and you got Lamar back. Time to go to work. Great pick there for the Ravens. Who else, man? Who else? I'll talk about the Bengals and Saints together here, and then we'll wrap it up because I think both of these picks right here, both Clemson defensive linemen, I think both of these right here were guys who they maybe didn't think they would draft when they woke up this morning, but when it got that time, they just drafted the best player available, and I can't disagree. In the case of the Bengals, I was thinking either Joey Porter or Michael Mayer. However, Miles Murphy was staring at them right in the face, and they couldn't pass up, man. This is, in my opinion, the third best edge rusher in this class at 28. Got to take that, man. Can't let that slip past you. And in the Saints case, you lose both of your defensive tackles in free agency, and you got, in my opinion, the second best defensive tackle, even though he was drafted fourth, sitting there at 29. Got to take him, man. I love both these picks. I'd give both these picks individually an A just because you draft best player available who also happens to fill a need. I've had the Bengals drafting pass rush before, and I love the pick, man. I love that pick. And who did I not mention? Individually for the team, I give the Ravens an A. I'll give them an A plus on the day because they accomplished exactly what they set out to do. Exactly what they set out to do. And I forget about anybody else as a team. Oh, we'll talk about the Patriots for sure. Patriots, first of all, they were able to move back from 14 to 17. Patriots always move back. We know this. They love to move back. They were able to move back to 17 and still get possibly the best corner in the draft. Are you kidding me? It was a great move from the Patriots and a greater selection to take Gonzalez at 17. I give that an A plus because to move back and still get Gonzalez, man, I'm giving out a lot of A pluses because there were a lot of amazing moves tonight, man. That's going to wrap it up. I will say again, thank y'all so much for 50 subscribers. It means so much to me. And I'm going to keep pumping out the draft content because I only have like 20 hours now or 21 hours until day 2 starts, and I got to make more videos talking about that. But I just hope y'all are willing to take this journey with me, man, because we got a lot of videos coming. Thank y'all so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
It's out the motherfucking pack. Right out the But niggas don't know how to act.